RVing with Fur Babies. Just like keeping your emergency contact numbers on your fridge, don't forget to add the closest 24-hour emergency vet, that's veterinarian, and facility address to that list. What should you have to RV with your fur babies? Oh, there are so many things, but we're going to try to keep it simple. Now, number one, have a vet in your domicile state, or at least the state you spend most of your winter in. Number two, keep up-to-date paper and electronic records of your pet's medical information. Number three, have your veterinarian evaluate your pet for travel. Get its up-to-date vaccines, medications, and scripts, microchip number and location and type of chip, as well as a current rabies titer test. Number four, be prepared to update this info just prior to international travel. Yeah, that means Canada and Mexico, even though they're right next door. Number five, train your dog to AKC levels of obedience. The best skill for your pet is for it to be obedient, to follow your commands happily. Teach your pet to have boundaries, to come when called no matter what the distraction, to not vocalize at the slightest distraction, to not take food from anyone but your family, and to have good potty skills. Basically, to be a good citizen. If you think that you have a good handle on your animal's training, the AKC offers a test for any breed that is called the CGC, or Canine Good Citizen. Passing any of these three tests will give you a great marker to your training. Pass and you qualify for a certificate for you and your pal, and a ribbon from the AKC to boast about. Number six, if you are a physician, nurse practitioner, PA, paramedic, or own a ranch with animals that you attend to, it might be good to talk with your vet and get the down and dirty on emergency vet care for your pet. One of the things that we learned as tactical medics is that the majority of our human drugs and procedures will work for our canines. Just administer by weight. Talk to your vet first. Many of your emergency vet supplies can be purchased at feed stores and even mini tractor supplies, not to mention online. Now, don't do this unless you've gotten your vet to teach you and sign off on you providing your forever best friend, the pet, with this type of care. There are emergency vets virtually everywhere here in the U.S. If you have any doubt, see the vet. If you provide any emergency care, follow up ASAP with a 24-hour emergency vet. Now, there's some common sense things to think of when caring for your friend. For example, number one, if you're cold, there's a good chance your pet will be cold too. Common sense. The same with heat. The difference is, it is always wearing a fur or hair coat. So be cognizant of heat injuries. That carrier you've got him or her in could be restricting airflow. If it's panting, it's dehydrating. Number three, booties for your pet for hot, cold, and rugged surfaces. What about some quick remedies that could save your pet's life? Number one, learn CPR. That's human CPR. It is potentially life-saving for friends, family, and your two-legged pet. Next, the American Red Cross and many vets will teach you doggy, kitty, and other animal CPR. Spoiler alert, they are very similar. Number two, vomit. What if your pet downs a bunch of coffee grounds, non-caustic but potentially fatal to the animal? How do you make it throw up? Well, not syrup of ipecac like us, but instead about a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide in an ounce or so of water. You can use a needleless syringe to administer it. Here are some suggested dosages. We'll flash some of those below as well. Ask your vet. Number 3. Diarrhea. Mild. First try a bland diet. If that doesn't seem to help and the stool is gooey and or runny, then consider Pepto-Bismol. For smaller pets, use Child Pepto. Again, suggested dosages are right here, and we will have some more in the comments. Get the exact dose from your vet for your pet. Number 4. Transport an injured pet. A firm board and or blanket with you at its side, soothing and calming the animal. No excessive movements. It is scared and it doesn't understand. You at its side will help to calm it. Animals are very difficult to bleed out unless the injuries are massive. Control it with gentle pressure and clean dressings. Do not remove the old, just add another and continue the gentle pressure. Number 5. Dehydration. Check their gums. Ashen or gray could indicate blood loss and general dehydration. Keep a dedicated water bottle filled for your pet and carry it wherever you two go. We use this one. It comes with its own little integrated bowl. In extreme dehydration, subcutaneous fluids, not from the tap but from a sterile IV bag, can be done by injecting them under the skin at the nape of the neck. If you're capable, IV is the ultimate. Do not attempt this unless your vet approves and you have the training. Number 6. Medical professionals make an advanced pet first aid kit which should contain all the adjuncts that you are trained to use. Everyone else, make sure that you have a kit as well. Include a copy of the animal's medical records, scripts, medications, and basic trauma items. Bandages, splints, emergency blankets, a burn blanket, eye drops, and all the above that you are comfortable administering to your best friend. Remember that you are their first responder and it's your job to get them to definitive care as quickly as possible. Do what you can, but don't dawdle. Waste time playing vet. Get them to the real thing as quick and safely as possible. Grizzly. We get an awful lot of questions about him. Our dog is not a pet. He's not just a best friend. He's way more than that. In the eyes of the law, he is a medical device and afforded protection under the law as set forth by Congress. That law is the Americans with Disabilities Act. To be precise, that's CFR statute number 35.102 subpart A, and is administered by the DOJ, that's Department of Justice. Not only that, but all states have some version of the ADA, Arizona being one of the strictest, providing protection for the trainer as well. Grizz is his name, and he has over 2,000 hours of training in this far. He began training when he was 6 months old, and it will be ongoing for the rest of his sweet, loving, wonderful little life. Out of respect for our privacy and his, we aren't going to divulge any medical information or history here. Just suffice it to say that Shelley's physicians, his vet, and a federal court have all classified her disability. To purchase an animal, that's miniature horse or any breed dog, those are the only things that can qualify. Fully trained by a professional trainer might cost upwards of $50,000. Unfortunately for those trainers, and fortunately for the average citizen, you can self-train as per law. What is required is that your animal is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for an individual with a disability. The task or tasks performed by the animal must be directly related to the person's disability. There is so much information about service animals and the law that we could really get deep into the weeds here. If this is something you all are interested in, we may consider another video covering this topic. In the meantime, we'll leave a link to the DOJ's website, their FAQ page about service dogs in the More notes below this video. The ADA does not require service animals to wear a vest, ID, or specific harness, nor are you required documentation that the animal is certified, trained, or licensed as a service animal. Those documents, the ones sold online and handed out by service dog training facilities or groups, do not convey any rights under the ADA, nor does the DOJ recognize them. People presenting these documents are doing a great disservice to those folks who truly need these awesome creatures. Just know that it is a violation of law to misrepresent a pet with these false papers and IDs. Every time someone does this, it's a lie to the business, who may then expect a true service animal to present something that is fake, causing that business to violate a person's civil rights. Don't be that guy. The only document we carry is this law card, which concisely explains the federal law. Whenever we get pushback from citizens or businesses, we offer it as education. Should they insist on discriminating against a disabled person, we welcome them calling law enforcement. There can be civil and criminal penalties that they may face. Now, we have never left Grizz behind, but understand that you may have to leave your pet behind in your RV at times. Just remember, he, like the rest of us, can have good and bad days, but his primary job is to assist and alert Shelly. So please do not distract any service dog handler team. There are some amazing devices that can help you, along with training, to be sure that your fur baby will be safe. For example, if you are fortunate enough to have a rig with a whole house control, like the One Control system, you can monitor the status of your rig when you're away. Some folks have installed security cameras inside and out, and have temperature alert devices low to where the pet might sleep. Have a unified system that will remotely alert you to smoke alarms, even remotely start your generator to be able to run ACs or heaters if the need arises. The gist of this discussion is to know that there are many ways you can protect your four-legged friends. Just prepare ahead of time so that your buddy is treated as the member of your family that he or she deserves. They can bring so much joy and service to you. Our Grizz is literally a lifesaver. You all have been so wonderful. Thank you so very much for joining our amazing community. We really are looking forward to seeing you all again next week right here on our License to Travel. So please, travel safe.